Rajakara, Vedic scholar, poet, lyricist, composer, journalist and a story writer and operatic playwright. He is trained in Carnatic Sangeetam, has been performing since 1955 all over the world. A disciple of His Holiness Jagadguru Kanchi Paramacharya in the Vedas and scriptures in the Sanskrit College Madras, Krishnan with his wife Radha and daughters are involved in several philanthropic and charitable causes. He is a founder and CEO of chairman of several reputed fiduciary firms that serve as receivers, trustees, regulator, monitor, et al. At the nomination of the U.S. federal and state agencies. May I call upon Sangeeta Acharya S R Krishnan sir to address the audience. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I gave an assurance today with you. I will not get angry, I will not yell at anybody, I will not admonish people. I won't force people to come to the audience. I won't ask them to put a lot of bodies there because we don't have a place today for a change. I've always been an outsider. It's great to be an outsider because I'm not one of those 280 members who are the backbone of this academy. See, I am completely out of date. It's good to be out of date at times. Those families are the essential lifeblood. Then comes the patrons and donors, including the 20 ghosts here, who I call polar bears. They work 6 months for the festival and they give 6 months to their family. These polar bears have names. There are 20 polar bears. Sometimes we call them Shaker 1, 2, 3 and 4, even though for the first time, since I don't remember reading from a paper, I wanted my disciple to print the name of all the trustees. So once in my lifetime, because I'm being called the 26th time to the Indian Finance Academy, so I thought I could at least read out the names. But Shaker told me, you can't spend more time on that. But I'm going to violate Shaker's orders. Quite often, they are the Milton's unsung heroes. People say trustees of the academy, then volunteers of the academy. The most unsung heroes are the wives of this and husbands. The spouses have not left them. I don't know what is the magic, and these people must be blackmailing them. If I were a spouse of any one of them, I would have left them long ago. Shekhar Vishwanathan, the ghost number 1, Venkatachalam. In fact, Sri Venkatachalam, I owe him my lifetime gratitude. He was the one who brought me to San Diego 25 years ago. Forced me to do a Tyagaraja Aradhana there when he organized it. Is that right? Then he introduced me to these wonderful people. And then Revati Subramaniam joined the group. The founder trustees, each one of them, I love them like my family. At times I'm critical and they still love me. And Shekhar is the one who gets my wrath often. For 19 years, every other day he has called me. I bug him, he bugs me. And we don't want to be left without being bugged. Then Revati Subramaniam, Tadimeti Rao, Lakshmi P. Savati, Rekha Nandakumar, Srinivasan Kasturi, Shashi Murthy, Shashi Potatil, Alar Krishnan, Nandini, Suman Nayak, Kalpana Sharma, Narayanan Gopalan, Geeta Ramanarayanan, Neha Patel, Subbu Iyer, Pavan Bhatti Prolu, Sai Narayanan, Deepak Ramasamy. You know why I read that? We have a wonderful souvenir Many of you are forced to buy it, but you rarely read it. And this is almost in the last page. I'm sure only 1% of the people who bought the souvenir would have seen the last page. But that should have been in the front page. That's my next recommendation. This particular year has been outlandishly challenging. This man gets 100 phone calls a day. He gets 300 texts a day. Usha came to San Jose on March 1st and said, after this festival or so, I may have to take some long time and go to Pavitra and spend my time with her. Because she's so fed up. He's never available. But notwithstanding that, Sri Musulakanti made a beautiful remark yesterday. He was this close to cancelling the program. And he wouldn't give it up. He said, no, you are coming. Every day, he is scared about the 3,500 flight cancellations around the world. Today, 3,763 is the number of flight cancellations on the day. 12,800 flights have been delayed. The war is intensifying. And today we are celebrating the very first organization in the United States celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States is Indian Financial Union. Everybody else follows after that. Most of them have given so much to this nation that many of the divisive force claims that they are belonging to them. At least there is one part of me who would like to talk about my great experiment. In fact, I'm not going to talk about Mudduswami Dikshitar, even though my gurus taught and I know very little, but many people who know Mudduswami Dikshitar have already spoken about them. Not about Flute Mali, because there are people to talk about. Not about Ravishankar, because you all know. I'm only going to talk about two things. What the Academy is doing, which I'll come to the end. But I'm going to talk about the great experiment, which is essential. Bear with me for 5 minutes to 6 minutes. You have to. You have no choice. You can't throw me out. I'm a handicapped man. Almost 50 years ago, maybe like I was 31, I landed in southern United States on a double fellowship. And when I landed, I was a very naive young man. At 31, what do you expect? I thought milk was running through the streets of the United States, so I don't have to buy an oven or any place, and I can gather in a mug. Honey was flowing free at every kiosk, you can buy it free. Food was available. There are no beggars, nothing. And people really pumped a lot of information about the United States. I came. The very first shock I had was in one of the Mississippi towns, a barber came with a gun, put it on my nose and threw me out because he said, you are a colored, go to the next street. That was 1978. Within a month, I went to Washington, D.C. I had multiple referrals in my pocket. I was supposed to go to Harvard for a doctoral diploma. So I went and met a correspondent in Washington Post who introduced me to Art Buchwald, the famous humorist, who took me to Jimmy Carter at my specific request. The first meeting with Art Buchwald was very crazy. Somebody introduced me as Dr. Krishnan. So Art Buchwald looked at me. He never sits without a cigar. He looked at me with a very skittish face. Doctor, then my referral, he said, oh, he's not a medical doctor. I could see that. That was his first hookup. The second thing was, can you talk? Do you know how to talk? And I said, I'm a journalist from India. Then he did not smile or laugh. He had a cigar through the corner, which is unlit cigar. He smirked at me. Journalist? And I'm talking to one of the famous humorists in the United States. Then I said, I request you to take me to Jimmy Carter because your ambassador has given a great letter to me from India. He took me next day. He called me, took me to White House. I had goosebumps when I met Jimmy Carter, the hero of my life. Carter allowed me to take a picture with him. I cherished it. Then he gave me 5 minutes and I had a 120 BPM, 31-year-old athletic body at that time. I still was shivering. I came, while coming back in the car, Bukwal said, "Are you not gymming enough?" I said, "I've had enough work for you as well as gymming." But I kept in touch with Art Bukwal till he passed away when he was 82. 2005, ironically, I had the pleasure of being there in his 80th birthday. Somebody was giving a big monologue like me about Art Bukwal. And Bukwal made a remark, "Shut up, you've spoken enough about me. I chose between life and death, life. Because death, I don't know. Life, I like. Because I'm still not on my back." I wanted to repeat Bukwal differently. I turned 80. I chose life. I don't want to be on my back, ever. Coming to the most important part is that there are only 4 Nobel laureates in the history of the United States for 125 years. Ted Roosevelt, then Woodrow Wilson, for all the peace that they have done. The third one was Jimmy Carter. He didn't get it as a president of the United States. He got it for the humanitarian award. He proved a point that peace comes as a lifetime mission, not sitting in the White House and signing as the president in a currency note. And he was the only president who got the award as a Nobel laureate. Of course, Obama got it for striving for peace. But Jimmy Carter got it because for humanitarian service to 140 countries, regulating 100 elections in the world around, eliminating guinea worm disease, cutting down poverty, and becoming a source of inspiration for 2 people, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Today, Jimmy Carter is a legend, not necessarily being a president, but being a peacemaker and such a great lover of peace. We all came with great visions, each one of you. Out of 20 trustees of the academy, there are 10 doctors. 10 of them are medical doctors and 10 of them are useless doctors. 5 of them are useless doctors like me. 5 medical doctors and 5 non-medical who are patients. Notwithstanding all that, the spirit that they bring into the academy. In fact, only academies of this nature are capable of preserving the peace which we have lost. We have lost our sleep. Many of you may have relatives and friends whose children have been sent to the theatre of war. We have completely reduced the information strata in which we live. We don't know how many troops have been injured, how many have been captured, how many are living, how many are dead. We have never seen this kind of a thing, at least for the last 50 years in the United States. Having met all but one president personally and having worked in the corridors of United States for 32 years, having held positions which are pretty enviable. It took 30 minutes and my baggage was checked so many times at San Jose Airport to wait through TSA or no TSA, because we are all at the crossroads. We don't know where we are. But I am a strong believer in truth, believer in peace. We have a troubled society. We have lost love. We have to resurrect love. We have a lot of hatred. We have a lot of politics. Inside music, outside music, inside the theatre, outside the theatre. I have multiple messages, but I will reduce it to a couple of messages. The way academy has excelled itself is because of 3 how-tos. How to bring bodies on to the auditorium, notwithstanding the challenge of streaming and artificial intelligence and algorithms. They have surpassed it. They have come of age. 19 years is adulthood. They have already graduated from the 2008 infancy to an adulthood today. They are a fully fledged organization not comparable to anybody else. I have traveled, mind you, 72 countries. I have attended 100 festivals around the world, not to browbeat myself because my time is budgeted and numbered. I have not seen an organization of Indian finances ability to have a fiscal responsibility of zero debt, filing tax returns, never being audited, and properly maintained because they're very proud of their organization. You can't talk about organizations and so casually alongside Finance Academy. I don't gain anything from them. I don't want a platform. I'm not promoting my children or grandchildren. I need nothing from them. I only yell and screech when I come here, but they have invited me for the 26th time in 19 years, 7 youth festivals and 19 main festivals. Because I have not seen an academy of this academy or no academy, this is unparalleled. Try to support it. Don't use streaming as an excuse. Forget 2 days, at least 4 days in a year. Don't watch too many ball games and all kinds of stuff on your television. See, I will come to that. I promise I will not, but the swabhavam will never go. Kindly give your time. If your children have to be great artists, dancers and music, and they have to contribute to peace, if they have to have a society without caste, creed, community issues, hatred issues, religion, division, this is the place. You can start from here, build up the peace. If you are still peaceful, if you still hope that the great experiment, United States was not a country, it was a great experiment, as you all know. 250 years of great experiment, we are still experimenting. Let this academy be a solid example of how to mesh this great experiment with the reality. God bless the United States of America. God bless Middle East and the rest of the nations which are all in turmoil. 28% of the nations in the world are scared for food. There is bound to be a threatened unnecessary depression in some parts of the world, etc. Let's pray for them. God bless our children who have gone to the war, boys and girls. Let them all come back in one piece, healthy and happy. God bless Indian Finance Academy. We are proud to be Indians, and Indian Americans in particular. We have equal right and responsibility and honor to have this country ours and call it our country. Nobody can shake our ground from under our feet. Beloved. Jai Hind.
Thank you.